Hey guys, this is Ryan. This video we're going to go over negative keywords for your Google AdWords campaign. I'm essentially just going to walk through my exact process for setting this up for a client before actually building a campaign, as well as when the campaign's already running and adding these negative keywords to the list to improve the overall performance. So most of the campaigns that I see that are underperforming, it's largely due to the fact that they're pulling in clicks that are just low value. They don't have high intent, and even when they aren't actually getting clicks from these low intent people searching, it's still negatively affecting the click-through rates of their ads, which is going to negatively affect their quality score, increase the amount that they're paying per click, and then increase the amount that they're paying per conversion. So there's a lot of negative effects to this, but the good news is this is a very easy way to improve your overall campaign performance. So if you're new, definitely watch the start of this video. If you're a little bit intermediate, I'd still say watch the start of this, but some of it might just be repeat knowledge. But towards the end of this video, there are a little bit more advanced strategies that perhaps you may have not have known of, and hopefully that's the case. So let's jump in. Okay, so a quick overview of what negative keywords are in the first place. They're just simply keywords similar to your positive ones that you built out your campaign with, but these ones negate certain phrases, search queries that you don't want to show your ads to. And further, you can make these more specific using match types, similar to like what you would do with the positive keywords. But these match types, or the symbols that you place around them, are slightly different, and the way you're going to use them is different as well. So let's just jump into that right now. Okay, so we have three different negative keyword match types: broad, phrase, and exact. We're missing the broad match modified that you normally see in the positive keywords. Another thing to note is that all your negative keywords do not account for variations such as plurals, suffixes, and prefixes. So let's say you were trying to negate the term courses. You also want to negate the term course. So you're going to have to account for all these, as well as misspellings, which is kind of a pain, but either way, that's a huge thing to note for your negative keywords. So the only difficult one to explain here is the broad match. If you're brand new, I'll just quickly go over the phrase match and exact match. Phrase match just locks in exactly the phrase as it is. So let's say you have course materials. Any search that someone puts into Google that says course materials in that exact order will be negated. And exact, let's say they typed in exactly course materials and it has these brackets around it. That's how you indicate the negative keyword. Then that search phrase is not going to trigger any of your ads, but it can only have those words exactly. The broad match, as I mentioned, is the harder one to explain. And let me just quickly shift my look over here because I have two screens and my presentation's on this one right now, so it's going to help me. So yeah, as you can see, these are some example searches for the phrase red heels. It's just something totally random. But for broad, it needs to contain every single keyword that is in your keyword phrase. So red and heels have to be contained in that statement, and it can be in any order. So for the first one, it has high in the middle of it. So your ads would still show for this. It's because it has both of those keyword phrases in it, but they're not in phrase version. Apparently, this is something that I didn't know for the longest time, but a broad match with two keywords like that is essentially like a phrase match for positive, but a phrase match that could go both ways. So if you look down, further down, you see high red heels, then you actually have the phrase red heels, and your negative keyword would negate that. But as you can see at the very bottom, heels red, it also gets negated. So really the only difference between the phrase and the broad negatives is the fact that the broad can be switched, but in either cases, they do need to be next to each other. But if you're using a broad negative keyword and you're just using one key phrase, let's just say heels, then it would negate literally every single one of these. So yeah, that's just a quick synopsis of the match types for negative keywords. Hopefully I explained that decently well. So let's just jump into how I go about finding keywords and making lists that really improve your campaign. So let's jump into that. So the first thing to do when it comes to negative keywords is to go over what you or your client don't want to offer. So whether that's services, offers, or days of the week, that's usually what I start with. So let's say you're a dentist who doesn't want to offer or can offer implants and root canals because it's just a service you don't do. And then you're also not open on the weekends, and you don't do emergency services, and you don't offer payment plans. So those would all be negative keywords that you want to negate. So let's just write that down. And then days, and then offers. Obviously there's more things you would want to look into, but these are some generic things. So root canals, implants, days of week, so you could just do Sunday, Saturday, weekend. You might miss out on some potentially high intent key phrases that are like out of the box that you would never think of, but somehow include those. So instead you could do open on Saturday if you're concerned about it, or like open on Sunday. But for at least these, I don't think you need to be too concerned about it. And then offers was emergency, even though that's not really an offer, it's more of a service. Payment plans. Okay, so these ones, it's important to note, so the variations as well. So you want root canal, and then also implant, and then like Sundays, Saturdays, weekends, emergencies, payment plan. You want all those variations in there. One thing to note here is payment plans. You probably wouldn't want to negate just plans in this scenario. In general, especially when you're first building the account, err on the side of being a little bit more specific than broad, because this plans right here specifically for dentists. A lot of people are searching, looking for dentists that accept certain insurance plans, and those are pretty good keywords to target. So you'd be missing out on that and negating those in this scenario. So you just want to keep these as payment plans, and you can keep these as broad or phrase. That's up to you. I would just make these broad. Doesn't really matter. So the next thing I do is always upload a list of the non-target states and their acronyms. So depending on what your positive keywords are, even good campaigns will still bring in searches from people searching for out-of-state services. So in that scenario, might as well negate them. So what I do is just look up a list of states and acronyms and click over to that site, and then I'll copy all these, and then I'll go over to Google Sheets, and then I do paste special, values only, and I highlight everything and go to data, and then split text to columns, and then click on this and go to custom and click the hyphen, I believe that's what it's called. And there you go. So there's two in particular that you want to negate though for these acronyms, because, or just eliminate from the negatives. So Indiana, in, so people are going to be searching for like dentist in area, and that's a really good keyword, and you don't want to negate that. The other one is Maine, so ME, so dentist near me. You don't want to negate that as well. And I'm pretty sure that's the only two acronyms, but I would still look at this and make sure there's no industry specific things that could be messing up your campaign. Just give it a look. But I upload those usually when building out an account. So the next thing that you'll want to do is Google search for competitors. So I just randomly did dentist in Boston, Mass. And essentially what you want to do is just go straight down this and put in key phrases of your competitors. And you'll notice pattern keywords. It's something that I talk about more later on in this video. But these are like the 80-20, so the 20% of keywords that are going to make the 80% difference. And a lot of them have to do with your competitors. So Boston Dental, you would probably want to negate this as both a broad match and exact. Sometimes just redundancy is not the biggest deal in negative keywords, so it doesn't matter if you're redundant. But pattern keywords is right here, like this right here, the ampersand. If you negate that, you're going to negate a lot of these keywords immediately of people searching for specific business names, because that's usually in a business name and nobody's searching that looking for someone that they don't know. Same here, dental associates. That's a pattern keyword that you can make a negative and get a big bang for your buck right away. Of New England, anything with of in it. Specifically for healthcare and medical services, a lot of people also search for specific doctors, so eliminating DR, MD, PhD, doctor, and then literally going through either you or hiring a VA, someone cheap off of Upwork, to go in your target area and search for a list of every name and negate the first and last name as a broad match negative of pretty much every dentist or whatever industry you're in, and just do that right away. Just make sure some of the names aren't the same as towns or cities, and you should be good, and you're going to save a lot of money. You can target competitors, their business names and their exact names, but your cost per conversion is likely going to be higher. Some industries you could get a good return off of that. But if you are going to do that, just build out a separate campaign for competitors and negate competitors for your high intent cold traffic. Just so you can separate that data and make a good judgment call on how their competitor campaign is actually performing. And the same can be done for your brand name. So for your main campaigns that are targeting cold, high intent traffic, negate your brand name. Even if you plan on bidding on your brand name, just make a separate campaign for that. That way you can isolate that data so that your high intent campaign isn't pulling in brand searches, which are generally going to convert much higher and cheaper. So that's going to dilute the data, and it's going to make it look like it's performing a lot better than it actually is. So that's generally why you want to keep isolating data, so you can make good judgment calls on what to continue and what to stop. The next thing we're going to do is generate a huge list of potential negative keywords in Google AdWords. So using the Google Keyword Planning tool, which you might already be aware of. If not, it's the little wrench in the top right corner of your screen. Click that and then click the Keyword Planning tool. And then plug in 3 different keywords relevant to your services and press Get Started. This is going to generate a huge list of negative keywords. First thing to do is to make sure that your location is specific to the one that you are targeting and your services are in. And this will pull up more relevant keywords based on your location. And then just go down this list, and you'll notice that there's some keywords that are paired with your good keywords, the positive ones that you're targeting, but aren't relevant or are people looking for information or reviews, something like that. So just make a note of these in your Google Sheets and add as many of these as possible to a general negative keyword list. And this is going to really help improve the performance of your campaign. The next thing you can do, and the reason why I kept this for last, is you want to look at your search terms report. So if you click on keywords in your campaign, this is, by the way, after your campaign is already running and getting clicks. Your search terms report is going to show you the clicks that came in from your campaign and the keywords that they actually typed in, the search phrases that they typed in to Google before clicking your ad. So this is really helpful data for adding to your negative keywords, and specifically early on in a campaign, you want to be looking in this quite often and just periodically adding these to your negative keyword list. And the more you do this and the longer you do this, eventually you're going to negate all of the low quality keywords, and your campaign is going to be really dialed in. And lastly, we have isolating data with specific negative keywords for campaigns and ad groups. We quickly went over this previously about running brands and competitor campaigns, but let's just go over an example of this right now for a dentist campaign with generic terminology. You'll see 3 different ad groups that make up this campaign. There's dentist phrase, that's just a keyword dentist with quotes around it to make it a phrase. Dentist near me, and then local dentists. As you might already tell, dentist, just the phrase, is going to trigger off of the same searches that dentist near me and local dentist would trigger off of. So essentially they're kind of competing in a sense against one another. The competition isn't necessarily what we care about, but it's the fact that the dentist phrase is going to pull in searches that have near me and local in them, and this is going to dilute that data, so we can't see the data isolated from one another. So we can't tell if the near me phrases are actually improving conversions or cost per conversions, or the local phrases are doing that. So what you want to do is actually put negative keywords on each individual ad group. So it's kind of counterintuitive, but for the dentist phrase, for this one, we would place a negative of near me phrase, as well as local on this, so that's not pulling in any of those searches, and then the other ad groups will get solely those searches. This is, once again, just important to isolate that data and make accurate judgment calls on what actually is improving your campaign and producing the best cost per lead. Last up, I'm going to show you guys how to add these negative keywords to your Google AdWords campaign in order to save you time and headaches down the road. What I like using is a shared keyword list. So if you go up to the wrench up top, you'll see the shared libraries column, and go to the negative keyword list there. You may have not been using this previously, but I suggest doing so, and splitting up and categorizing your keywords into specific categories of keywords. You don't necessarily need to do it as granular as I've done here, but doing it a little bit like this is going to save you some time down the road and headaches, especially when perhaps you notice that you're negating a search query that you don't want to and need to go back through your list. It's easier when they're organized like this, so you can generally scope out where it's going to be. The second and the major reason why I like doing this is because you can associate each one of these lists to multiple campaigns and ad groups. And doing this means every time you add a new keyword to one of these lists, it now updates for the other campaigns. I used to, the first few months that I got into Google Ads, would just copy out these negative keywords for every single campaign, and it does take a little bit of extra time and it's quite annoying. So this is going to save you time down the road. It's going to create a better organized account structure, and just all around is awesome to do. So I highly suggest doing this. So that's it for this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. The one thing I want to leave you with is to focus on finding those root and pattern keywords. Otherwise, you're just going to be adding negative keywords one by one, and there's just too many to do one by one. You can eventually get there, it's just going to take a long time. So if you can find those pattern phrases, sometimes they're odd and out of the box, but if you can see these weird phrases and add those to your negatives, you can knock out a bunch of low-hanging fruit for negatives immediately. So focus on that as much as you can. I hope you guys liked this video. Give it a thumbs up if you liked it. Subscribe for more Google AdWords tutorials similar to this. Put any comments below if you have any questions, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Cheers.